Welcome back to From Fear to Fun, the podcast where we explore how to transform medical encounters with children from moments of fear into opportunities for fun, with connection, confidence, and cooperation. I'm so glad that you are here. Today we explore how fairness works in practice, why equal treatment can be deeply unfair, and how personalized support strengthens trust and cooperation. Fair support is not the same as equal support. Every child, every parent, every family arrives with different needs. Fairness in pediatric care is not about treating everyone the same. It's about giving each person the level of support that allows them to feel safe, understood, and capable of participating. Fairness is the final element of the SCARF model: status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness. It is the glue that holds the entire interaction together. Children and parents need to feel that their needs are recognized, their limitations are respected, their abilities are supported, and their individuality matters. Fairness is not sameness. Fairness is responsiveness. The amount of support a child needs depends on age, physical ability, intellectual capacity, language skills, and emotional safety. A toddler, a teenager, a child with autism, a parent with limited English, each require a different approach. Fairness means adjusting the examination and explanation to match the person in front of me. One example: I will try to let even an 18-month-old child to climb onto the examination chair by themselves. Why? Because climbing independently reduces fear and increases autonomy. It makes the environment from their point of view feel less threatening. To make this possible, the chair must be accessible, with steps or a small staircase. Fairness here means adapting the environment to the child, not forcing the child to adapt to the environment. Fair support means adjusting the examination to the child's physical ability. A child in a wheelchair may prefer to be examined where they sit. A child with hearing impairment might need bold gestures, and a child with visual impairment needs verbal warnings before every touch. Fairness means anticipating barriers and removing them, or at least responding to them. What does fairness mean related to intellectual capacity? Communication is always judged by the recipient of the communication, not the sender. In this way, I must adjust my wording to the child's and the parent's cognitive level. This means potentially I need to use simple sentences. I might need to slower my pace. I need to focus on very concrete examples and provide visual aids as much as possible. Fairness here means speaking in a way that the listener can actually understand. And what does fairness mean related to language skills? Not every family speaks English fluently, and some speak it not at all. Fairness here may require an interpreter, or for example, telephone's translator. More time during the consultation, more gestures, potentially also even more drawings. So in essence, fair support here is not equal support. It is support that makes communication possible even with language barriers. What does fairness mean related to emotional safety? A fearful child is a closed child to communication. They cannot cooperate until they feel safe and able to open up. So fairness means here to slow down, to acknowledge their fear, adjusting the expectation, giving space, and building trust before proceeding. So a child that's fearful is not misbehaving. It signals that the environment is perceived as too hostile to open up. How does fairness look like towards the parents? Parents are essential partners in the treatment relationship. When I greet the child first and let the parent wait, I'm actually supporting the parent's needs. They can observe me. They can see whether the child cooperates. They have a chance to calm down and they can catch their breath. This pause helps them engage more effectively later in the consultation. Fairness means here supporting the parent's emotional state as well as the child's. One group of patients struggle specifically and need specific support, which is children with autism or neurodiversity. Children with severe autism struggle to connect with strangers. In these cases, the parent becomes the interpreter of the child. Fairness means here to acknowledging the parent as the expert of their child, asking for their guidance throughout the consultation, and adjusting the SCARF steps towards the child's sensory and emotional needs. Let me just share one small trick that I have noted to be very effective. Nonverbal autistic children often giggle when, instead of shaking their hands, I gently shake their foot. They accept this playful, non-intrusive greeting that does respect still their boundaries. So again, fair support is not equal support. It is tailored, thoughtful, and collaborative. In a nutshell, fair support is not equal support. Fairness means providing the level of support that the individual child needs, adjusting for age, ability, language, cognition, and emotional safety. When fairness is personalized, trust grows, fear decreases, and cooperation becomes possible. Thanks for listening to From Fear to Fun. Next time, we will start to put all we discussed previously into practice by actively engaging with the child. Until then, remain curious, offer connection, and keep moving from fear to fun.